And in other news, the spiral of violence continues in both Syria and Iraq, and now protecting the country's precious archaeological sites is becoming a top priority for many, including the United States. An investigative report shows hundreds of millions of dollars worth of stolen artifacts traveled to the U.S. from the Middle East following the invasion of Iraq back in 2003. The black market for antiquities is fueling terrorist organizations, as Maya Margit explains in the next report.
War and political instability in Syria and Iraq have created a looter's paradise. In recent years, the number of artifacts traveling from both countries via Turkey to the United States has soared. In fact, according to U.S. Census Bureau documents obtained by the Life Science website, the pillaging has reached astronomical heights. Since 2003, roughly $283 million worth of artifacts were exported from Turkey to the U.S. So who exactly is smuggling so many artifacts out of Syria and Iraq? Organized crime groups, as well as the Islamic State, are looting thousands of archaeological sites in the region.
The Islamic State actually just manages the looting and issues digging permits to excavating groups so that they can excavate sites within IS-ruled territory.
Many of the items smuggled out eventually land in New York City, which has several prominent auction houses and antiques dealers. The increase in such shipments in recent years is staggering, especially with regards to antique gold coins. Between 1989 and 2002, just over 1 kilogram of coins arrived in the U.S. But following the invasion of Iraq in 2003, that number jumped to 26 kilos. And from 2011 to 2016, right after the Syrian civil war began, this figure nearly doubled to 51 kilograms. Yet experts believe the worst is yet to come. The vast majority of looted artifacts are expected to emerge on the open market many years from now, after the world has turned its attention to other wars.
Iraqi and Syrian antiquities are being stolen at this very moment, are being stored somewhere, and will be sold in the future. So right now there are those who are either trying to sell these antiquities to the West and make money, or they are using forged versions of these very artifacts and trying to sell them.
In a briefing earlier this month, Washington said protecting ancient works of art has been a challenge. Yet stopping the illicit sale of antiquities is quickly becoming a top priority for U.S. national security, not just for cultural reasons, but also to combat jihadist groups. But for now, IS is making a fortune from antiquities, with black market sales estimated at between $150 and $200 million per year.
And joining us now in studio is I-24 News correspondent Maya Margit. Thanks so much for being here, Maya. So it's just, mind-boggling, these numbers. Let's see, $283 million since 2003. Who's buying these artifacts?
Well, this is $283 million since 2003 just in the U.S. We're just talking about the U.S. here. So it's galleries, private collectors, museums buying this. Some of them might be knowingly buying something that they think is fishy or might be looted. But for the most part, they check the provenance papers, the papers that tell you where something is from. Mm-hmm. And these provenance papers can be faked, and they might not know that this is something that could be looted.
I mean, it seems almost, I'm no expert, but it seems almost impossible to really tell whose hands, have been on this artifact that you're buying.
There are just so many middlemen, it goes from someone excavating the thing to selling it to a smuggler who smuggles it out of the country to another dealer in maybe Turkey. A lot of these artifacts go through Turkey. And then in Turkey, they sell it to someone else, and it can be sold, many of the times these are sold on online sites, online auction sites like eBay. And eBay, of course, is aware of the problem. They said they're looking into claims, but there's millions of things on eBay. If you go on your phone right now on eBay, and you can find looted antiquities right now, if you just go and look. Yeah.
Wow. And what challenges then do governments face in combating this illegal smuggling of these artifacts?
Well, there's just so many challenges. As long as there's a demand for these antiquities, there will continue to be a market, unfortunately. Most of the items are sold online, as I mentioned, so you need specialists in cybercrime because they're sold on social media, auction sites, eBay, these kinds of things. They need to train customs agents, too. When these boxes come in with antiquities into their country, they need to be able to recognize that something might not be legitimate. It could also be a fake antiquity item. A lot of these things are forged. They're not even real. Some of them are, but some of them are fake as well.
So this is like the solution going forward is you think, cybersecurity and things like that. Are there other plans in the works?
They're focusing on cybersecurity. They're also trying to send more people to protect the actual sites on the ground in Syria and Iraq. But part of the problem, there's 13,000 archaeological sites just in Iraq, so they don't have enough people to go and protect these sites.
Well, and groups like, ISIS operating in these areas. It's really dangerous. Really dangerous. Well,
exactly.
Maya, thanks so much. This is a very important issue. Thanks for talking about it.
No problem.